Hello, welcome back. We are on the next video for putting this box together, and we need to do the waterfall. That should have been in the first step, my apologies, but the waterfall is going to fit right in here. You need to cut 4 of them. Each one of them are going to measure, get to the underside so we get it right. Each one is going to measure 5 1/4 inches across by 4 7/8 in their height, and then you'll score it at a 1/2 inch and put your tape on. Now, what's easier for me to mount these is I cut a piece that's 2 inches by 4 7/8. I mounted my waterfall onto it, and now all I have to do is place my waterfall in here. But I can't do that until I put my cover piece in. So this video is going to go over what I did. I'm working with Ciao Celestial. These are the papers that I had left over from a larger album that I made for Scrap and Create. So I am setting this up, but I've got to decorate at least the outside and this panel before I can put this in. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Now, this piece by and large is going to be covered. If you're going to make this box, don't waste a whole 12 by 12 or 8.5 by 11 to cut this. What I did was I took 2 pieces that are relatively the same and I taped them together. It's going to get covered up, so save the big pieces, especially if you have limited pieces of paper left over from a collection. So I'm going to go ahead, I've got tape on this, but I'm going to finish it off with some glue. Wow, I just filled my glue bottle and it's really runny. I'm going to pull this towards me a little bit because I need to see where I'm setting this. Excuse my head if it's in the screen and it's in the way. Mess here. Okay, now I'm going to run some tape on the back side of this piece so I can mount it in there. Now it's 2 inches, so it should take 4 strips of 1/2 inch tape. If you want to put, I have a 2 inch roll, but it is so obnoxious to work with. It's a lot quicker and a lot easier if I just do it this way. All right, and then I'm just going to balance this in here. I'm not coming all the way up to this flap because I don't want this interfering with that flap closing. I don't want any pushback, so I'm just kind of sneaking up to it, and I'm going to lay it down. Now, you can cut a piece here and put another photo here. So that would give you, so this is 8, so this would give you potentially 9 photos. All right? Now, the other thing that you can do if you want to do it, and I should have done it beforehand, is you could have put a magnet here and then a magnet here to help keep this closed. but I didn't think about that, but I'm letting you know in case you haven't completed this step that you can actually get in there and do that. And this is not sealing. There we go. Okay. Now, what I have done is I've already cut from this Celestial collection the papers, and I've got them all set aside for where I want them to be. If you're using the same paper collection, you can follow along and use what I did. I did not like this particular piece of paper. So this I did cut. I wasted quite a bit of it, but I used sections of it for in here. But what I did was I cut this, because this is the bottom of the box. Or this is the bottom of the box. I better get this right. This is the bottom of the box. So it's going to be laying on the table and sitting on stuff. So I didn't want to waste a very pretty, elaborate piece down here. So, and I had a cutting mistake, so I did have to splice the two pieces back together again. Okay, so the bottom's done. Now, what I did, I'll kind of walk you through what I did here. Okay, so out of this Celestial collection, I had this little gold trim, and I'm putting it right here. And then I had these long, beautiful pieces. There's two of them. I just picked one. And I'm actually going to go over the gold piece right here because that covers up these corners. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that in. But I need to do this, silly girl. Now, when you do this, you've got to keep in mind what direction this is going so that you're laying whatever piece you've chosen, that you lay it down here correctly, because this is the flap to your lid. And then for the top, I had this gold piece, had some emblems on it, and I'm putting it here on the top because what I'm putting on the top, I kind of want it to stand out a little bit. Oh, that slid. Okay, and then I cut this, had a bigger frame around it, but I cut the frame down, and I'm setting this in here just to my left, but then I'm coming in with this. I cut it out, I've mounted it. It's on, to stiffen it up a bit, I put it on some gold cardstock, and then I'm going to set this right here so it offsets it a little bit. I think this, I'm looking at this arrow, so I think this is up and down. Okay. Now, for these two flaps, I am playing with this piece here. Now, I need to be careful that I've got to make sure that the patterns are going in the same direction. So this is going to be to the top, and this is going to be to the top, so that the pattern is, like I said, in the same direction. And then we'll swing on over here and we'll do this one. And then this piece right here, I'm using the same paper, making sure that the pattern is going up. And then one more time. And I'm going to close this up so I make sure I'm going in the right direction with this piece. Same piece going up and down, so it's going to go right here. But now I got to get this all unfolded. I'm so sorry. You'll understand if you make it. It's quite the acrobat, it seems like. Oh, shoot. I wanted to pull this down a little bit. It's too high. There we go. Now, for these two flaps, this was the pattern that I chose, and I'm making sure that my dark blue is on the same end. And then I'll do the same over here. Okay, so that has all the exterior surfaces covered. So now when we close this up, this is what I have. Now I'm going to further embellish the outside of it, but I will do that in the next video as well as go over what we're going to do on the inside. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye.